Right, so I have returned once again today to deliver another episode of Inuyashiki. This episode being episode 9. As we know, we're sort of getting to the final stretch of the series. Yeah, we're sort of getting to the very kind of final stretch of the series. We're kind of getting to episode 9, which is kind of like the second to last episode of the whole entire series. And yeah, I think this series is sort of kind of in a way derailing slightly. I mean, with certain things, there's certain like signs that this show's kind of going the way I kind of expected it to go. In the sense of how a show starts off pretty freaking good and how it kind of just derails after a while. It's sort of going down that route. But I'm kind of just sitting here optimistic saying possibly they might be able to fix certain problems that the show actually has. I mean, the main problem is Hero's character, I think. Personally, Hero's character is the weakest link in this whole entire series. I can't fathom any single thing with his character. I find him completely uninteresting at this point. Like anything he does is sort of just become unshocking at this point because he's kind of like it's Hero. So he's just like, okay, all right. I don't like what's going on here, but it's just you lose the interest in his character after a while because it's just certain things with his character that just kind of doesn't work very well. And the fact is they structure him kind of weirdly as well. So a lot of the things become a little bit repetitious after a while as well. So yeah, I mean, he's kind of the missing link. Granted, there's actually certain telltale signs in this series that kind of makes me wonder what the actual end of the series will be. And hopefully it doesn't go the way I expect it. Because it does go the way that I expect I'm seeing it ending. Oh boy. Oh boy. It won't be good. But again, I remain optimistic. I think possibly they actually might be able to do it. I think they might. But anyway, yes. I do apologize once again for actually not being here this whole entire week since Sunday. It's the fact is I've actually kind of still trying to get over my actual kind of problem with my throat. And then also had the work to do this week because it's my full hand-in week this week as well. So there's that. And also the fact that I had extremely bad migraines as well. Like today alone, my eyes were kind of going really freaking blurry after a while. So I was like, yeah, I'm actually not doing too good today. But after a while, it sort of cleared up. So I thought, you know what? I finished my work. I need to calm down for a bit. Let's actually do some YouTube. So that's why I'm here now. So anyway, enough talk. Let's start this thing in 3, 2, 1. Let's begin now. Let's see whether or not the series actually can fix some problems. One of the things I do actually know about this series is the fact I think they started out Hero way too shocking, and I think it kind of sort of just it destroyed his character slightly because his whole entire character is sort of like yeah, what he's doing is completely incorrect. It's actually completely horrible. You're an absolute disgusting human being. But I think all the things he did at the beginning were way more kind of shocking. So you grew accustomed to what he was doing after a while. It lost all shock. Yeah, it is actually true. A lot of people actually don't realize it, but I don't tend to speak it out loud in like front of public or anyone like that because I'm actually kind of shy about it. I don't know why. I can actually speak the language though. I understand the language more than I actually can speak it though. I think I can speak it possibly 65% and then probably understand it a lot more. So if someone threw me a film in Spanish, I'd be like, yeah, I can understand what's going on here. That kind of thing. I grew up with the language, so that's how I understand it. And that's from there. So when I get over my cough, it still hasn't gone completely yet. That's why I haven't even done any manga because Overlord came out in the wrong week. I was like, why did Overlord have to come out this week? It could have come out next week. I would have actually been completely free and actually completely 100% in health. But no, this week I was like, damn it! Of all the times she should have released it, was this week. Yeah, I'm sort of getting hints there's something going on here. There are like kind of hints here and there about the ending. It sounds kind of strange when the first time you hear it, like, oh, that's actually kind of weird because you kind of pronounce a lot more of the syllables, I think. It's also a lot of the words that in Spanish I actually can't say correctly in the first go, like ciudadanos. Like it's one of those words and it sort of takes me a while to understand it and get it perfectly. Wow, that is some advertising. That is some brilliant advertising. Oh, it's a really odd place to use 3D CG actually. That's the whole entire point. The integration of CG has been pretty freaking good. Just then was like, huh, it's a bit of a weird way to weird place to place it. I still think Berserk's kind of got a little bit of an advantage because you just don't really know what's to happen next either. And it's in this series, you kind of like you grow accustomed to what's going on, so you just kind of it loses all sense of shock. Berserk kind of has that edge. You just kind of you don't know what's going to happen next, you know what's going to happen with any of the characters. you're kind of like, it's just the fact of Hero's character. So far it's all right. I haven't got to the end of it yet. It's all right so far. No, I actually dropped that series ages ago because the series kind of got a bit stagnated after a while. It wasn't that good. I was like, it's sort of it's one of those series that's fun for like 4 episodes, and after a while, like, I can see where the series is going. So I kind of gave up with it after a while. I mean, hopefully Monday on my next JoJo stream, I think. I mean, I guess we're sort of going back to where it was beforehand. He has no more left now, which may or may not impact his character overall. Again, what is it, the third time now? I think. Sorry, I'm just trying to watch the episode. Got told off last time for actually being too loud. I just have to struck the middle ground when it comes to that kind of thing. So I kind of tend to be quiet and loud at the exact same time, as they say. Right, so the episode, it was okay. Like it kind of was. It was this. I don't think this show's kind of got anything left in it. Like when it comes to Hero's character, it kind of makes me go, freaking hell, dude. I mean, that last bit at the end kind of sorted. I was like, Jesus freaking Christ. But it's just the fact that certainly some of the things of his character becomes a little bit repetitious after a while. He sort of just, you kind of, any single time he's on screen, he's kind of loses a bit of interest. You just kind of like, ugh. It gets to the point that you just want him to be taken down. You want the whole entire thing to be over and done with, because it's kind of getting to the point where it's not that good anymore. Well, it's not good to start off with, but you know what I mean. You want him to get taken down, like in the space of like no time. That's the problem with this show now at this point. Like they're building his character up to get taken down, and it's getting to that point. And he's kind of like, just do it already, please, love of Christ, because it's getting a bit too much at this point. We're not even too sure it's actually detriment to the series or not, because it kind of like it kind of conveniently ends the narrative. But at the same time, it's just, I don't know, anything with Hero on screen, it's not that interesting to me anymore. Like they've thrown all the eggs that he's got into one basket and just sort of just went, okay, be gone with it, I guess. And it's kind of like, okay, all right, but then what's left for him? Because a lot of the things with his character becomes repetitious after a while. Because now he's lost everyone that he has ever had close to him, like with the whole thing with Shion. Because Shion's now like, I saw it on TV, dude. He's all like, oh, we can go live together somewhere else. It's like, I don't think it's gonna happen anytime soon, boy. Like I think that ship is gone completely, because goddamn. So yeah, now he's kind of reverted to where he was beforehand. He's kind of gone back to the point of episode 6 or possibly episode 5, one of those episodes where he actually had no one left. He's got to that one point, so the humanity's completely gone once again. So you get that repetition after a while. It's just certain things that with his character that sort of keep on happening, that it's sort of like you get it after a while. You're sort of like, yeah, okay, so this is going to happen this week as well. And it's certainly this whole entire thing with the end of the world aspect of the show as well, which does not kind of take anything out of my brain. That will end somehow with that thing. The two characters be implicated somehow. Like the two characters have to be implicated somehow in this end of world aspect, because I think the opening already foreshadows the whole entire thing as well. Anyway, but if that's the case, it kind of reinforces my saying about Hero's character, the fact he just pulls 180s constantly, and it sort of gets to the point that you're kind of like, ugh. I mean, yeah, the whole thing with the airplane at the end, you kind of like, freaking hell. Like, it's one of those things you didn't really expect it. Granted, at the same time, when you saw the airplane, you're like, something's going to happen with it, isn't it? It's kind of got to the point that you expect it, which isn't good, because you're meant to kind of be like, fracking hell, what's going on here? Why is this happening? But then you kind of like, when you see signs that make you go, that's going to happen, you're sort of just sitting here going, okay, it happened, basically. It's still kind of shocking, but it kind of loses that moment shock. I mean, if you're there in the moment, yeah, probably it might be like, freaking hell, what the hell's going on here? But once you're actually kind of passively watching, you're kind of like, okay, it's his character. It's his character at this point, so he's kind of like, it's just a recurring thing, which isn't kind of the best thing for his character, because they're sort of bigging him up to be this terrible person, which is actually kind of done well. You hate his guts. He's a complete detestable human being. You want him to be taken down. So in that aspect, good, they're doing that. So, but at the same time, there's nothing else to him. There's literally nothing there that kind of makes you go, okay, I want to see more of him, because once you knew about his backstory, you kind of got all that you needed, which again is what I kind of wanted. But at the same time, there's certainly some things you can do with bad people. They're kind of making a bit more interesting. But with Hero's character, it's sort of just got to the point you're just kind of like, okay, you're just doing what you're doing. Like, it's just got to the point you just want him to be taken down, like, really, really freaking quickly, because it's just getting repetitious, because it's like, what's the point? Just someone will just go in there and just stop the dude. I mean, yeah, I know it's freaking possible at this point, but it's just like that at this point. You just kind of want him to see him getting taken down, which I'm guessing probably going to be the next week or two. Granted, I still think there's something to be with the end of the world aspect of the show, which will kind of implicate both characters. So that probably will be how it ends, I think. But man, if it ends that way, it'd be a massive kind of F you to the whole entire series, because it needs to version the whole entire thing with the fact that you thought they were going to fight to the end. But still pretty freaking crap end to a series, because you kind of sitting there going, what was the point then? What was the point in bigging up Ichiro's character, being his grandiose person, and then bigging up Hiro to be this absolutely detestable human being for not to fight in the end? I mean, you kind of expect it, but at the same time, it's kind of like it's being a subversion, but you're kind of like, does it work? Not really. I don't know. It's just this series kind of, it has the merits which kind of elevate it beyond being kind of sort of average. Like, it's what its series does in theory have. I can say it does have those things. I mean, Ichiro's character does in theory say this whole entire show. But the other 50% of this whole entire series being Hiro's character, it's just not that good. It literally isn't. Like, episode 2 kind of painted a bad idea about his character for me. Episode 4 kind of made me go, maybe there might be interesting things in him. The bit with Shion's character, when she actually kind of was presumed dead, made me realize, oh crap, yeah, they're going back here again, aren't they? I mean, you have the whole entire thing that people explain as a fact it's kind of like an ego boost. But at the same time, it's just, it doesn't detract from the fact it's actually kind of fictitious. And the series tends to be like that. That's the problem with the series. The series is kind of fictitious after a while. Like, because you don't kind of, you grow accustomed to the events that it just doesn't, it kind of loses all sense of a kind of feeling like, oh my god. At the beginning, you're like, dude, why? But then after a while, once you actually kind of really understand Hiro's character, you sort of expect it. And it's just, it's not how the series should go. You have to kind of throw some curveballs here and there. I don't think the series is kind of throwing those curveballs. And I think the series is going way too fast for its own good as well. Like, certainly this episode kind of in theory just, it was one of those episodes that kind of went a bit too fast, I think. Like, certainly kind of did in theory go a little bit too fast. But I don't know. Hopefully, just hopefully, randomly, this series does in theory save itself towards the end, because this series does in theory kind of possess some semblance of kind of pizzazz that actually kind of in theory will actually fix the series. But it's whether or not they actually will implement it, because let's face it, right freaking now, there happens to be nothing in this series that kind of makes me go, well, freaking hell, but does Ichiro's character. I think Ichiro's character kind of makes me give it a 6 out of 10, and Nando's character as well, because other than that, it's just like, okay, all right. It's just, I don't know. The series kind of started off a bit shaky. I think episode 3 and 4 kind of fixed a lot of the things. And I think by episode 8, it sort of just got a bit kind of like, you understood what the series was trying to do. And it sort of, it just didn't, it wasn't like kind of like, oh, kind of thing anymore. That's the problem with the series. It's the fact that you kind of, you know its tricks. And that's a bad thing about the series. You know it's tricks. It has to kind of throw curveballs in here and there. Otherwise, you just kind of like, what's the point watching the series? You just read the manga and actually see how it ends, because it's just like, you kind of expect it, but you just want to see how it ends. So you just go and read the manga and find out, because manga's actually finished, I believe. So yeah, I don't know. But the only thing that was actually else was good about this episode was the fact of how Ichiro kind of feels powerless right now. I like that aspect, because it's actually one of those things, because he is kind of powerless at this point. Like, he's kind of, there's mass amount of people dying, and he actually really can't get there fast enough to actually kind of figure out what the hell's going on here, other than to actually stop Hiro's character. It's actually kind of one of those harrowing things, because you want to see him actually take him down, which actually kind of lends itself back to my original point. But at the same time, it's kind of like, it's just kind of like, you're just a bit depressed the fact he really can't do very many things right now. And I liked Under's character. Under's character kind of is a sleeper hit of this whole entire series for me, because he really is kind of the most interesting one there. Because he's kind of one of those characters who's actually kind of flung into his whole entire thing, but then he's actually now trying to stop Hiro's character. I mean, yeah, he's that kind of conventional character you do tend to see in these kind of narratives, but at the same time, it doesn't actually kind of detract from his actual character overall. You're kind of doing very still see there's actually some sense of interest in his character. Actually kind of makes you more attached to him than anyone else in this whole entire series. I'm not too sure about Mario's character. Mario's character has just been kind of okay, but I'm not kind of seeing anything just yet of her character actually makes me go, oh, okay, freaking hell, she's actually kind of warranted right now. Like, it's just, I kind of like her presence there. I like the fact she's there, but it's just kind of like, she's just there. That's the kind of major thing of her character. I mean, Shion's kind of the most prominent character that I think that actually kind of like when it comes to the female-centric side of this whole entire series, because she's one of those characters that kind of did take him in, but now realizes what he actually kind of is. Like, she actually realizes he's actually this monster. Actually, then actually kind of ends back to his whole entire thing of him going back to where he was beforehand. So I do like her character for that reason. So it kind of just, it made you realize that he's going back to where he was beforehand. It made it's repetitious, but at the same time, it made her realize what kind of person he really was. Like, because it's kind of those things, it kind of makes you realize that everything that came beforehand with his character with her was kind of pointless. It was actually kind of a mass fabrication when you think about it. It's like, was it ever true? He does in theory kind of say, look, okay, we can actually leave his place, go somewhere else. Once we're actually done with his place, we'll leave. We'll go somewhere else. It's actually kind of nice. But it's those kind of empty, hollow words you just can't believe, actually, which actually kind of like, because you do see it. There's emptiness in Hero's words. Like, he doesn't actually kind of possess anything that makes him sound convincing when he kind of goes, look, we will actually leave this place and actually live a happy life somewhere else. Like, you just don't believe it. Which actually makes the whole entire thing that came beforehand ever more pointless, because it's just like he would just revert back to his whole entire before kind of character, which actually does in theory kind of hurt his character slightly, because you're like, okay, he's bad, he's good, he's bad, he kind of fixed himself, and then he's bad again. Like, it's just like, that's how they're structuring his whole entire character, which then I think is how the series will kind of end as well. Like, the fact he'll probably go back to kind of maybe in theory fixing something that actually is kind of a very, very big aspect of the whole entire series. Actually kind of then in theory fixes his character slightly, but it's not kind of like fixing him to the point that you kind of like him, because that's the kind of problem the series does have as well. Is the fact is they're trying to fix his character, but they can't, because he's an absolutely detestable human being that you can't ever fathom to like. So everything he does try to do doesn't actually warrant anything towards our attachment to his character, because you don't feel any attachment to him. Like, it's kind of one of those things that I kind of just found pointless. Like, the fact is, you either make him pure evil, or you try to actually kind of put something in there in the middle that actually kind of makes him seem as if he's actually not that bad. But if you kind of go the pure evil aspect, you have to kind of follow it through. If you're going to have 180s, you can't. It doesn't feel right, and I think that's what the series did wrong with his character. The whole entire bit with his section with his mother, and the whole entire section with Shion as well. Though Shion's kind of was a bit more of an interesting aspect, because it's kind of like, was it kind of true or wasn't it? But you just don't know. But now it's kind of going back to the whole entire idea of him being pure evil, which is kind of okay, but at the same time, it's kind of like you're expecting something to happen, and an event that actually might then kind of revert him back, which then hurts his character even more, because it's just like, it's just repetitious, which is my main kind of focal point for this review. Is the fact is this series is quite repetitious, which is, it's just like, it's not bad, but it's kind of like it just doesn't do anything interesting, I think personally. But yeah, I mean. Okay, so we have 2 more weeks left. We have 2 more episodes to go until the final episode that actually airs. And yeah, I remain optimistic. That's what I'm trying to say. I remain optimistic about this whole entire series and how it will end. I believe possibly they actually might be able to pull out something that actually might in theory be kind of good. Hopefully. So I'm not trying to crap on this whole entire series so far. I'm not saying it's actually an absolutely terrible series. I'm just saying it's not that kind of great. It's not like kind of the grandiose series of the whole entire season. That's what I'm trying to say. There's a lot better out there, I think, personally. So yeah, hopefully the series actually doesn't very improve as time goes on. It might do. It might not. Let's see. We've got 2 more weeks to go anyway. So, with all that said, I've indeed been the driver. So yeah, hopefully as of next week, I actually might be able to get back to my original schedule of what I used to do, because this week happened to be my full hand-in week, so I actually couldn't in theory do a lot because I had to get all my work done to actually have some more free time. But as of today, I actually kind of finished all my work, so got technically one more day of uni left until I finish, which is actually kind of tomorrow. I always count my last hand-in day as my last day of uni, so tomorrow is my last day. So after that point, I will in theory kind of get back to my original schedule, hopefully. So with all that said, I have indeed been the driver. So if you have enjoyed this whole entire stream as a whole, and you do leave a like, then do leave a like, because indeed, it does help me quite a bit if you have enjoyed what I do here. And you want to stay a little bit longer, then do leave a sub, because indeed, it does help me quite a bit. But until Saturday, with whatever I actually kind of do on that day, I have 0 idea what I'm going to do. So until that day, adios.